Hey guys, Fix It John here. What we're going to be working on today is a compression fitting under the sink. These are some of the tools you may need, a couple of crescent wrenches. This isn't a typical plumber's wrench, but I can get a little more leverage with it. What we have is a compression fitting valve under the sink that you can't close. So if there's an emergency, a hose bust or something, you wouldn't be able to close it by hand. You'll need some sandpaper too. So let's take a look at it and let's get to work. But the reason why I'm going to change this dual valve out, and it's a compression fitting valve. I won't have to sweat it on. I prefer a sweated on valve, but this is more for the DIY guy that can do it at home by himself. But this valve here will not close, and that's what happens. They get corroded and they get rusted and they get locked in place. It will not turn for nothing. So, and this valve here, it goes to the refrigerator water and ice tray. This one here runs up to the cold water faucet. So we have that one there with the bad valve, and we have this one here. I may or may not change it out today. But these valves are working. They open and they close. But eventually they will go bad if you don't exercise them. And what I mean by exercising is opening and closing. Because this is the hot side. One goes to the hot water line at the sink, and this one here runs to the dishwasher. Okay guys, first thing you want to do is determine where your shut-off valve is before you do any work under the sink. And our shut-off valve is right here. You can either shut it off here at the main valve at the house, or you can shut it off at the street. And to do that, you need a special tool. So let's say, for instance, this is locked up too, and you can't shut it off. If this is locked up and you can't shut it off there, you need to shut it off at the street, and you need a special tool for that. And it has a horseshoe-shaped, U-shaped end on it, and it's like a T-fitting at the top, and you need that to shut the street valve off. So once you've shut the water off to the house, you need to find the valve. It could be inside or outside of your house. That's the lowest point in your water system. So you need to open that up to let any pressure out. So the reason why you want to shut the hot water tank off is if the job takes longer than what you intended, you get it done, or you may not get it done, and the water out of the hot water tank is evaporated and you burn your heating elements up. So that's why I shut the hot water tank off, because there's no cold water running into the hot water tank to keep the heating elements covered with water. Okay, we have two valves open outside because I believe they're the lowest, and we'll turn these on to release any air or pressure. Hear that? So this is really not a complicated job, guys, and just not much room in here to work. So let's see what we have to do. Okay, the first thing you want to do is undo these braided lines here. So I think I'll just be changing one valve today because I accidentally grabbed the wrong valve. Let's see if I can get it with my finger. So that's the easy part right now. We have to get the valve off here. Now I'm using a wrench on this compression nut only because I feel I can get better leverage with it. You don't need that. You can use a crescent wrench. You need to hold the compression nut and the valve assembly here. If you try to twist just this nut off, you're going to twist the copper pipe that's back behind here. So you need to hold this and turn against each other. Turn it against each other. Now, I'll turn the nut. There we go. That wasn't on that bad, but and they're usually not on that bad. But you need to hold it with the crescent wrench here in my right hand. Otherwise, you can twist that copper pipe. And if you don't know how to sweat a new fitting on, you're in trouble. You'll have to call the plumber. Now, sweating new fittings on, it's really not a big deal. Let's see if I can do this by hand now. But yeah, anytime a valve seizes up, you should replace it in case of emergencies. And there it is. Voila. Da 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 da. That's all it is. Okay, we need to get this compression nut off. We want to get this compression nut off here. And usually the hardest part is to get rid of the compression ring here. See the ring right here? This is the compression ring. What happens when you screw this to your valve, it will pinch it down to keep water from going in there. And it's also known as a compression ferrule. So plumbers know it as a compression ferrule. Handymen know it as a compression ring. So we're going to work this off here so we can slide our new compression ring over it, or back over the pipe. And it's coming. And pulling it while torquing on it. Now, you would never want to reuse this because after taking it off, you're going to put burrs and scars on the top of it there, on the outer side of it, and it just water will find a leak, and then you pull the nut off, it just comes right off. All right, guys. This one here didn't have a rubber gasket in the bottom of it. So I'm going to have to take some pipe tape and tape around the valve. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm taking some emery cloth. It's old plumber's sandpaper. Comes in a ring like this. You can buy it in a little container. You can buy it in a little container like that. And all it is just a roll of sandpaper. And that's so if you're going to sweat a joint on, or just need to clean the roughness up so you can get your new compression ring on there. So it fits. And you don't want to overdo it, but you want to clean it up. So after you've got it sanded, just wipe it clean. And that's what it looks like. Nice and clean. I'm going to go after it a little bit more to make sure. I don't want to have any issues when I go to tighten that compression ring down. I'm going to wipe it clean. Get all that grit and debris off of it. If you have a fresh one, make sure you got it all off. There you go. Now let's put it back together. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is a quarter turn valve. And it basically is like a handled ball valve. So it just quarter turn and it's open, quarter turn and it's closed. So that's all it is. It's actually better if you can see in there. There's like a little ball in there. And the other one has a tendency to, the rubber O-ring has a tendency to dry rot. And that's why I went with this one. It's just a quarter turn. and it won't go as bad as quickly. You'll still, I mean, to keep the keep them moving, you may want to exercise them every once in a while. And what I mean by that, just open and close them. Have I mentioned to you I'm not a professional plumber? So anyone should be able to do this job. Let me wipe that off again. Trick is getting a good clean finish. I want to take this compression nut off. Compression ring, also known as a ferrule, compression ferrule. And put that nut on there. And let's hope the compression ring slips on there. Oh yeah, beautiful. And make sure your valves are closed before you install it. That way, if you turn the water on, you're not going to get water all over. So, all right, guys, I need to put some pipe tape on this valve, only because there's no compression fitting inside it. So when you put tape on, you just can't put it on any old way you want. You need to put it on in the direction of the way your nut is tightening. So in this case, it's tightening down clockwise, so you'll want to put the pipe tape on clockwise, because if you put it on counterclockwise, when you screw it down to tighten it up, it'll back the tape off. So that's why. Now, if you have a left-handed thread, you'll want to put it on counterclockwise. This is a right-handed thread, you'll want to put it on clockwise. So make a mental note of that. That's one mark of a professional plumber. He knows how to put the pipe tape on. So I put the tape on only because it's easier to put it on off the fitting here, off the pipe. So I'll put this on, bottom it out, run my compression ring and nut up to the valve, tighten it up by hand, and it's still loose. You can pull it right off. So I need to get in here best I can. This is not very easy for a big boy. Let me open that valve up so I can get my wrench in there. I have a crescent wrench on it to hold it. There again, we don't want to twist the pipe. Get it right the first time here. That should do it. Okay, I'm gonna go turn the water on. We've got the water turned all the way on, and I don't see any drips. And that is a very good thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna hook the refrigerator water line up before I go any further and make sure this doesn't leak. Remember, I had to put the pipe tape on there. I am not going to remove this this valve today, because I bought the wrong valve. I bought a 1/2 inch by 3/8 by 3/8, and this one, and then I bought 1/2 inch by 3/8 by 1/4. So I'm not going to remove that one. I will. We don't want to go too tight. I watched my dad do this, and he was always known for going that one extra turn where it would leak. So, and Mom was always good about pointing that out. So let's turn this valve on and see if we got any leaks. It's dry as a bone right now, and we'll watch that for a minute. And nothing so far. And I do see a drip coming out the back here, guys. And it's I'm gonna have to go a little tighter with it. Just one little drop, just a drop, just teeny needle drop. So let's see what that does. Keeping an eye on it. Okay, we're watching it. It was on the back side. You didn't see it on camera there, but it popped out on the back side. And a lot of times that's all it needs is just a little bit more tightening. I didn't use any thread dope, so, and that's always a possibility. You can always use thread dope too. A lot of times pipe tape will do it. And I don't see anything and I don't feel anything. So I think we're in good shape there. All it takes is a drip to ruin everything. And that's where you need to take your time. I don't see anything coming out. So I think we're in good shape there, guys. These here will be a no-brainer because they do have the rubber O-ring in them. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, anytime you take these off, it's a good idea to replace them. So remember, this is Fix It John. If this video helped you in any way, like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.